I am streaming also not only on Facebook but on YouTube. And for anybody who is new, when if you do like what you see here, I hope that you will either follow or subscribe, whatever is appropriate for whichever place that you are looking at. Right now, yesterday, you guys, we worked yesterday on the journal cover. I'm going to take my watch off, it's distracting. We worked on the journal cover yesterday, and we made a slip spine. So I tell you, it was a process, you guys. It's like one of those things, like, every time you turn around, there's something else that you've got to, change and do, the fly by the seat of your pants. But it is just 2 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper that I printed from the kit, and then I seamed them back here in the back. You can see, where that is, right there at the back of the spine. And so that was what we did there. Hi, Molly. Hi, Sue. Who else has popped on? Carol, there's Roberta, Judy, Deborah, Sue, Scarlett, Linda, Jimmy Lou. Everybody's here. Jen, Deborah Campbell, Martha, Carol. Oh, my goodness, Linda, Cynthia, Cheryl. Everybody's here. Darla, Sherry, Katie, Phyllis. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. I am so pleased to have you here. So this is how far we did, and so that's what I'm going to use for my journal cover. Now, this is a little bit like what Christy from Funky Junk Inspirations was making today. She did a hardcover on hers as well, and so that's, and you, like I said, you can go back and see how I did mine yesterday, and then Christy did some fun stuff with hers. She used some things that were kind of found objects. So then here is, I have gone through and I actually. I think I got the white edges cut off on all of them, but when I put them together, what I like to do is I like to kind of arrange them and decide how I want them to go. So I thought, you know what, this will be the perfect time for me to kind of give you a quick flip through of what the pages look like. Now you have to remember that they're folded in half, right? Oh, thanks, Carol. Oh, hi, Susan, Bobby. Hey there, Anne Marie. So this is what they're like, and I printed them on the front and the back. You guys, I almost forgot to print the backs. I was getting ready today and like, oh, they have nothing on the back. So I had to hurry and take care of that. Now this, actually, that's upside down. And this is another reason why it's a good thing to, check out your pages before you go any further to make sure that, so this one. Oh my goodness, I got a whole bunch of them upside down. Maybe I did the whole thing. Hang on a second. No, that one's right side up. Okay. So do a quick flip through and, make sure that they are all the way that you want them to be. So like I said, I tried to, now some of them have this floral looking background. Some of them have this is like tulle, so it would be like a wedding veil. So some of them have that kind of a background. And let's see, more of the floral. And then I tried to do a couple of pages that were more like kind of junk journal style, kind of some little newsprint, but some flowers. So it's kind of all mixed up in there. And, the pearls, I love the pearls. And so, this was a lot of pages to put in here. Some of them I tried to give you a little space to do some writing. And here, I love this. We've kind of, and Roberta was talking about like leaving the church. Now this one, when it goes in the book, it's not going to be like this. But when I made these two together, I'm like, oh, this could be getting to the church. And then, or, whatever venue it is. This one does have a church in the back. And then your real pretty, place that the ceremony would take place. And let's see, some of them, there's a whole bunch that are the veils or the tulle. This one has just kind of a watercolor background. Here's one of the floral prints. These are some magnolias and more flowers and pearls. Well, where's the rest of my, did I just completely miss? Some of them have like a satin background. Oh, like this. This has got more of like a satin looking background to that, right? Okay, so there we go. We made sure all of our pages are facing the right direction. Now, I tell you what, I'm just not so sure. By the time we add some things in here, I'm not sure that I really want all of these together. It's going to be kind of thick. And part of that is, the weight of the paper. I printed these on 24-pound weight paper. I went and bought some special paper because it was more white. The one that I have that I usually use, it says it's, it's a bright color. The brightness is something like 96 or 98, but clearly when I look at it, it has just a tinge of a yellow undertone, and I don't like that. I didn't want to use it since this was for a wedding book. Let me grab one and I'll show you. So, you know, you can't really go by only the brightness factor, you guys, which, you know, I never paid that much attention. I don't know if you can see this here. I'm going to try and show you. I don't know if you can see. Maybe. Can you tell that this is a little bit more of a cream color than this one? I mean, they're just a little bit different. So I went and I got white to go ahead and print this on because I wanted white background. And, you know, this is, I'm not going to worry about this. I made my journal cover big enough that I don't have to worry at all about, you know, it being, and I mean, I've got plenty of room over here. You know, sometimes when I make these, I go ahead and I trim it all off so it's all straight and neat. But if I do that in this one, I'm going to be cutting a whole bunch of it, you know, off that I don't really want to. And I don't know, I'm still kind of torn about just taking some of it and doing a second. I don't know, I like it all together though. I arranged it to where I liked it. So I might just put in one really thick one and then make a second one too, because I do have two. So it is going to have two eventually. So why don't we just go ahead and get started with this. And I'm going to wait on that because I want to make something that is going to have to be sewn into that signature. Now you guys, this is going to be an interesting thing. This is going to be an envelope pocket. But if anybody watched, how many of you watched the other day when I did the little houses? Did anybody watch like the little houses that we made out of the envelopes? I had so much fun with those. Well, we're going to kind of use a little bit of a different look here. Hey, Adela. Let's see. We've had some more people popped up. Yeah, I think there is too, Martha. Big difference. Oh, Ray. Hello. We've been missing you. I'm so glad to see you. It's so good to see you. It's been a long time. I hope you're doing better. Oh my goodness, you guys. When you know. And you know, I checked about this reptile glue that I use. I use both Fabri-Tac and I use reptile glue. And it looks like this, reptile, just like it sounds. And I did check to make sure that it is, you know, it is not, oh my goodness, that I might have to just go to use the Fabri-Tac. I made sure that it was an acid-free product because that is one of the big things that you need to, oh my goodness, I give up on that. That is too clogged up. How annoying. Ups and downs. You moved to Nebraska? Ray, I didn't know you moved to Nebraska. My goodness, that was a job. Okay, now, these envelopes came from an estate sale. They're old, the sticky stuff doesn't stick, and what you have to be careful of is don't go like any lower than where you see gummed stuff already. Because if you do, you may be gluing it shut. Sometimes I just glue on this portion instead. But whatever you do, don't glue it any farther than where you see the original gummed strip, okay? Now, I'm going to close that. We're going to decorate some on this part. We're going to make this, we're going to work with this in conjunction with one of our little, one of these. And you guys, oh, these all look kind of the same color. I got to one of my last pages that I was doing the front sides on the other day, and the printer quit using yellow. And I messed around with it, and sure enough, when I came to use the one at my desk, it really didn't print out the same color. I was so annoyed, and, you know, I've messed around with it so long. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this kind of like a little roof on here. Like it's kind of like under like a little shelter, so to speak, okay? But that's not all we're gonna do. I gotta get that straight. Now, Jimmy Lou says she's got something up her sleeve. I think she said it's not anything she's shown us before. And so she's hoping that that is going to work. And I got so tickled when I read that because I thought, well, I've dreamed up this, so only part of this have I done anything like it, and may or may not know what I'm doing. So in my mind, it seems like it's gonna be fun, okay? So I'm only going to cut, I want it sliced open, but only up there to that fold. Well, I can't get that down there. Oh, I'll have to do it this way. Let's do it this way. We'll turn it this way. Well, then it's hard for me to see where it is, you guys. I'll have to hold it really tight and steady. And then where's my... Okay, did it. Okay, so now that that is cut there, we need to trim this off. And now I want to cut just this one layer along the fold line. So basically we're just making like a little door. Oh shoot, I should have... Okay, I have a piece of paper to lay on this because I don't want this part showing. So I did just get a piece of the just plain colored paper to put on here. You know what, we may have to put this on and then swap up what we're doing for a minute while this dries a little bit. I don't know what I'm getting on here. Oh, I guess that's just a spots on the paper. I thought it was dirty, like something on the paper. Well, there is something on the paper, it's just not going to brush off. Okay, so we'll just put this on here, and I don't want to use too much. I mean, I do like how it gives it wiggle room time, but there's also the fact that it does, the more that you put on there, the longer it's going to take to dry. Okay, so let's put this down here to cover all of this, all of the envelope flap and all that jazz, and press it down good. I have loved what everybody has been doing, and thank you so much, Jimmy Lou, for allowing me to be in the Junk Journal Jamboree group. And this was a wonderful and to, you know, craft with you guys, do presentations, and especially this time the opportunity to make a special printable kit for everybody. And there is no special code, you guys. I just made it a nice price for everybody for July. Okay, there we go. Now, nobody wants to see that. We don't want that in there, right? Let's put something prettier in there. And I thought I would put some of this and let this work over here. That looks good. So this doesn't exactly match, but I think, you know, my goal here is just to not have the other things showing. That's all I'm really going for right now. Oh, thanks, Jimmy Lou. I really wanted it to be something. Now, this one does tend to have a little bit, you know, more of a blue tinge. But, you know, it's really kind of a soft color. And, you know, there's lots of colors that work well with blues as well. And, you know, probably, hey, I probably can measure this and know how big to make the other one with the little scene. About 6 3/4 is what I'm going to do. Oh. Let's cut. Well, I need to turn it this way, you guys. Make sure I get part of the picture in. Almost cut the top of the picture off. But no, who would do that ever? Oh my goodness, you guys. Let's see. Hi, Cindy. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the back. I'm going to cut, you know what, let's cut a little more off because we don't need it that, I don't need it to be that thick, you guys. And I'm not going to do anything to that back side because that could be something that could be used for journaling. Now we might go ahead and put a little bit of ink on it. Words are hard some days. Okay, I think usually because my brain is about, as much as I talk, you're gonna think this is funny, but I tell you what, I think my brain is like several steps ahead of my mouth, and sometimes I'll get to telling you guys something and thinking about it, and then later I'll think, did I finish telling them, whatever it was? Who knows? Okay, now then we'll just put this one here and get that glued down. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, something broad, something blue. Thanks, Karen. Now somebody who already purchased this today, go check your email. Who was that? I sent you an email because you bought it twice. And I am thinking that was a mistake, and you'll probably want to get a refund for one. And sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes it happens. Okay, so now we've got this like this. And I am just going to, I don't know, maybe I'll ink a little bit of the edge of this. It might help it stand out a little bit. And I'm going to use, this is Hickory Smoke. I think, was that what Roberta said she was using too? This turned out to be really nice because it's just, it actually looked a lot like the things that I did the pre-shading with on the printable. And I thought, well, hey, that worked out good. Now, the reason I've got a bunch more of these printed over here at the side is we're going to cut them up. We're going to cut those up, and we are going to use them as like little flower things up there at the top of our folded over roof section. Okay? Okay. I hope that makes it stand out a little bit more. Maybe. Yeah, I think it helps. It's always amazing what a little bit of subtle shading adds to something like that. And we're going to fold this over here. And I think I'll bump it up a little bit so when you open that up, it's kind of a little bit more of a surprise what's up under there. So it's just hidden a little bit. Now those outer edges, I'm not sure how far out I can go and still have it on the envelope. And what I'll probably do later is take my other glue with that little nozzle when I can get it to work. I will probably reach in there if I need to. But that seems like it's pretty secure at that point. Okay. Oh, Roberta, you did use that. That's so funny because I was thinking mine was weathered something. And I thought, oh, well, I'll have to check that one out too. Okay, so here's what I was telling you. When I got ready, look at what a difference that these were. Look at the tone of them. And I tell you what, I cannot tell you how long I messed around with color settings that I can access, on the computer that go to my printer. And I'm like, oh, I'm over it. I'm so over it. And I thought, it is what it is. Okay, so now we are going to just go to town and cut some of these off. And I want to be able to kind of have them go across. So I can't have them going down too much into here. Okay, so we're just going to kind of do some layering, and we're going to just snip pieces out, but I don't want that post in this part. Okay. But now somebody was talking about, yes, when you get a printable, even though, its name is Junk Journal Printable Kit, that doesn't mean you can't do other things with it. I mean, print some of these out, or, make them a smaller scale. I think Roberta was saying that, she cuts them out in different, different sizes. And this can be, layered on here. We're just going to fill this top part up. Just cut and paste. We're going to cut and paste it, you guys. Okay. And now that I'm thinking about it, we probably should kind of start from the bottom and work up, kind of like shingles, That way we can make sure to get it all covered. But I just thought this would be kind of a fun and different little effect. And we'll just keep cutting some of them up. What else do you guys use printables for that maybe is something different? You could use them and make card fronts. Especially some of them that were more kind of like a little picture. If you made those on a smaller scale, just on your printer, usually you can tell it what kind of a percentage that you want to use it. You could do that and scale them down that way. If any of you use Canva, you can put them into Canva, and that would be a real easy way to scale them down. Okay. Some of these, it's kind of hard to see what makes the most sense to cut them apart. But you know, once you get them cut apart like this, nobody else is going to know what it looked like before you started, right? You're just going to cut it up and it's going to look fine. There's a little bud right there. Okay. Let's kind of lay them. Oh, I thought I had 2 of these. I kind of thought I might have to have 3 sections of the little archway with the flowers, but I wasn't really sure. So I did print 3 of them out for the extra flowers. So this is just one other little idea to use. I don't know, that's probably going to have a little more. And I think it's going to be fun all layered up. So we'll put some here. Let me just start laying them out here and see if it looks like we're starting to get enough. That's a big chunk. Oh my goodness. Oh, I might already have enough, you guys. Hey, I think I do. Okay. Woohoo! Just a little bit more cutting and we should be good to go. This is a great big chunk. I think the smaller little pieces look like they might work a little bit better together. Plus I got to cut that arch out of there. And sometimes I just kind of make up, especially when it's kind of leaves or things like that, you can just kind of make it more organic yourself. And here you go. Okay, let's just start. Now, I don't really have any rhyme or reason for this, I guess. We're just going to layer it on here. I don't know what else to do but just start, right? Jenny, I think that's you. I sent the message to Jenny Drew email. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you. I use tiny scissors. I'm dangerous with an X-Acto knife, although I do have the kind that has, I kind of feel like this kind is, I have better control with one like this. It's I think they call it a finger blade, and I feel like it is a lot safer for me. You just hold it like this, and that's the only thing I use for a X-Acto knife. But no, I just always use scissors. It's just easy for me. And let's just keep putting these together here. Oops, I tried to take the top off and it was already off. Fun. You do birthday cards with them. That's cool, yeah. Yes, printables can make gorgeous cards. Let's just kind of make that fall off of there. Let's pull it down a little bit off of that roof. I kind of wish I'd... There! Almost dropped it. Okay. So I'm just, it looks like I've got plenty, so I'm just doing plenty of layering. I think this is actually going to work, you guys. This was one of those things that's like, oh, yikes. Seems like a good idea, but is it? All right. Ah! Oh, Adela, you've had one for about 15 years, one of those finger blades? I never even saw them till about, let me think, about 4 years ago. Oh, you guys, I can't, shoot. I need to not, well, I can cut it off. If this is going to get sewn in the middle in the journal, I'm going to have to be careful with that and not have so much over on this side. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so if you try this, if you're going to put it in the journal, well, you know, we don't have to. It doesn't have to be sewn in. Oh, in fact, I have a, let's use one of the strips that's kind of like for a belly band. Oh, I don't know if that's that long. Well, maybe it could go across. We'll see. Let me pull one out in a second. Although I really had planned to sew it in. You know, don't you think you start with an idea and then there's no telling what direction you go with it? I'm like that anyway. Okay. We've almost got it covered. Look at all those flowers. All that flowery goodness, you guys. Maybe I'll just put that one there. And let me just, I'm going to put this glue on there. Whoops. Oh. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, oh, here. Bonus to having some left over. Can put some down here at the bottom. Okay, there we go. Now I got stuff on my fingers and nothing to wipe it on. Piece of paper. Okay, so there we go. And then we've got this on the back. Let's put a little ink on the back. Oh, let's do something else too. As soon as I get a little ink on here. You guys, I really love these dome-shaped inking tools. There's something about them that I seem to do a lot better with. I don't know why. I used to think years ago I was kind of inking challenged. They just never turned out right. I mean, I always had some strange thing that they just didn't look right to me. Just grab a little bit on there. Okay, so now we've got that. Now inside, okay, so we've got our place inside here. Let's see if we've got, this kind of needs a little, I can work on that later. It needs a little bit trimmed off of there. Let's see if we have something else we could put there. Well, I'm not really seeing anything that I'm wild about there. Except I feel like now I should have had something in there. I don't know. It's still something you could put on there. You could put a small picture or something. I guess I'm going to leave that. I guess I'll just leave it. And I did think I wanted to, you know, if I was going to sew this in, I'd have to sew it in the middle for it to work right. So I guess I will not do that for that one. Okay, let's do one other envelope thing because I will want that to sew in. What did I do with it? And here's another envelope that I got in a estate sale, and that's why it's not very white. It's not a cream color, but it's aged, so it looks kind of vintagey. So again, you guys, when you get something like this, and you need to probably put some other adhesive on it to make sure that it's going to stick, try to just stay where that glue line is, so you do not get it somewhere you don't want it. Okay, so we've got that, and I think I'm going to cut another little piece I think I'll just cut a piece of this magnolia paper to go on this. And see how big this needs to be. The one thing I don't like about this is I can't really use it to measure very well like this on this scoreboard. So it needs to be about, I'm gonna make it 5.5 inches. I don't have to run it clear to the edge. We'll give it a little border. So 5.5 by 8, 8 and we'll do 3/4. 5.5 by 8 3/4. Okay. So let me trim the edge off there. So let's see, 5.5 wide, or whichever way. Oh, I don't even know if this is going to go the right direction, you guys. But it doesn't really matter. 8 3/4, I think I said. So just get this down and put that on the side that the flap is so that it covers it up. And I didn't measure that right. I don't know. I went wrong there. Let's cut about 1/4 inch off. I tell you, when you haven't really used a paper trimmer a particular paper trimmer all that long, there's always all the ins and outs to making sure you know what's going on with it, like exactly where it's working. Adela says she has the same problem with inking not working out. She just got some of the round daubers. Oh, the rounded, the dome-shaped ones? Yeah, I don't know what there is about that. And in fact, I even liked the brushes better than I did the flat applicators. I could even use the brushes better than that. And I don't know why. We're just going to put this baby on here. And then I haven't decided if I want to make this a top pockets or side ones. I think it would be kind of fun to do them in the side. You could do one in the top and one in the side, but that seems like a lot of thought and effort. What kind of trimmer do I have? This one, Martha, this one is from Stampin' Up. And actually I like it because one of the things about it is it's got this score blade in it too. Or not a blade, a score tool thing. And then also, what else was something else? You really can trim just a tiny bit off. I've been surprised how easy it's been to trim things. Just little bits. So like when on the pages that had the white edges, that was pretty easy to just get those trimmed. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit on both sides here. And you guys, there are so many little bits and pieces in here. And you guys, I did so much fussy cutting. I got all kinds of stuff in here. I love the little silhouette people. I just, this one I left like this until I get ready to use it to trim closer to their arms because I thought that would be, easier. There's some pockets like this. So you fold these up, fold the little glue tabs in, and one sheet has 3. One sheet is all kind of the satin look. So I tried to give you, some, a lot of options. And the tags, I saw Christy, she printed hers on paper and then had to back them. I printed these on a lightweight cardstock. So they are already heavy. And they're, they've got, some of them have a bit of color on them. And then, kind of some newsprint, some music on them. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Look at these. These are like stamps. You can cut these apart. They're like little stamps. So some rings, little flower, and bride and groom. Now the other ones are just silhouettes. But I figured these are so tiny. It's kind of like, you can tell it's a bride and groom, but it doesn't really matter, who it is. But some of these things you could use like a little tuck spot somewhere, like up at the top or the bottom, whatever you want to do. Lots of words. Here's one of the sheets of words. I printed these on cardstock. Some people like to print them on you know, just paper. I did mine on cardstock, so it's not just completely white in the back. It looks kind of like it's been done on watercolor paper. And so one sheet, it's all the same phrases on both sheets. One sheet is this that looks like typewriter text, and the other one looks like script. I didn't print it out. Hey Cheryl, how are you doing? Okay, thank you. Thank you, by the way, Cheryl. Okay, so now we've got this, and I'm going to do a little punch in the sides. Actually, let's go ahead and fold it. Let's fold it the other way. It's going to fold easier with that other paper on it. But we've got one side that we can decorate this way. Oh, you know what? And if I sew it in the middle, nobody's even going to know what the other side, whether it matched or not. But, you know, who would know? That's not going to do it like that. That's too much. It didn't like it. The little punch was going, no thanks. No thanks, lady. That's too much for me. I'm not that hungry. My mouth's not that big. My teeth won't do it. Okay. Okay. Good grief. They shot up on my shirt. At least they didn't go down my shirt. I have done that before. I've punched things out and then they went right down my shirt. I'm just like, oh, hello. So let's do a little bit here. Now, I think I'll wait until I find out where this is going to live before I would decide what to put like on the back, or, you know, what to kind of decorate these with. But there's all kinds of goodies in there. So there's, you know, we could put something on here as well and kind of just use the floral background. Oh my goodness, I only got 15 minutes. You guys, I want to get this done so we can sew the signature. And I'm going to show you how to do, let's do one doily thing too. We'll make a little doily thing we'll sew in. But I want to show you how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch in case you've got any little things that don't fall in between, you know, that won't catch if you're doing the 3-hole. Sometimes you have something and it's small and, you know, you wanted to use it, and so you need a way to secure it with your stitching. But if you're just using the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, it might not catch it. So if you use 5, then you have a better chance of it catching in there. Why is it when you're in a hurry, it seems like a long way around anything to ink it? Do you guys feel like that? Hi, Dana. How are you? Okay. Almost done. So, up after me is going to be Maddie from Junk in the Trunk by Maddie. Now, last night she was kind of worried because it looked like they had weather coming in, so she was kind of fearful of whether she could get on, but you know, you do what you can. If it doesn't work out, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to do the best you can. And if that happens, she'll probably, you know, do her live later. I know we've got somebody else who was going to, you know, originally be with us today, and that just, she wasn't going to have that worked out. She's got all of her things cut out. Cynthia's got all her stuff ready, and so, you know, we're going to be anxious to see what she does with her things too. Okay, I'm just going to, oh, I thought that was torn. Let's find a place to put this. Oh, this would be kind of pretty right there. And then, oh, where did my doily go? Maybe we aren't, oh, maybe we aren't sewing a doily in. Oh my goodness. Well, I can still make something else with it and still get it in. I thought it would be pretty because it was kind of lacy looking, but okay, that's not going to happen. So let's go ahead and stack these up and make it happen. Oh my gosh, you guys, only got 10 minutes. Can we do it? Can we do it? I'm just going to stack them up here. Where's my clip though? Okay, so then you just want to get them all stacked up. Now, after I trimmed them, some of them are not exactly, and I want this up a little bit so you can still see the shoes over there. That makes it hard when you've got something that, you know, you don't really want it at the top or the bottom. Then it kind of makes it hard because, you know, you don't have a way to stack them good. But I have already folded all of these, so that we should be good with that. Already done with that. Now, where's my... So I've got, so I'm going to poke, I want one, let's see, let me use a bigger one. I want one hole kind of down here. I'm going to do it about an inch. And I like to kind of fold them up so that it goes, otherwise I get them coming out like off to the side. Like maybe about an inch down here. Okay. I'm going to use some of my other pokey tools to keep them in place. And another one down here about an inch. So just make your 5 holes. Okay. You know, actually I might even just use some big needles to keep their places there. Okay, and one kind of in the middle. You guys, I didn't do a template. I'm not that worried about that. Okay, one there. Oops, that one didn't come all the way through. And that guy left. Oh. Thank you, Jimmy Lou. Okay, and one there. And 2 more. You guys, this just isn't hard to do the 5 pamphlet stitch. It's just, you just have to know. But it's not hard. Isn't that the way with so many things? It's really just not that hard, but we just, you know, it's different. And so, you know, now I'm just going to do kind of halfway through there. Oh my goodness. Let's see. What else have I got here to keep my spot open? Well, I think it'll be fine. There's that thing that looks like a dental tool. And then halfway through here. So just 5 holes. Okay, I think they'll be fine. Everything looks like it's good. Let's grab some thread. And I pulled out some needles. I've got, let's see if I can get it out of here. That looks like a nicer size needle. It's not so big around. When I don't know what happened to the one I normally use. It's kind of crazy. Now, usually we say like about, you know, 3 times the length of this. But you know what? I can't remember if you need a little bit more. I'm just going to do 4. I don't care if I mean, it's thread. So this is some waxed linen thread. It's actually a great thing to use for your, you know, for doing your signatures. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, so you go down through the center. Okay. No, wait a second. Oh my goodness, hang on. Down through the center. And then leave some tail out here. You know what? Let me clip some over there so it doesn't leave. That's kind of long. I don't need that much. Well, I already have it there. Okay, so down through the center. And then up through this hole next to it. No. Oh my word. Hang on a second. Down through. Yes, that's right. So up through this hole next to it. Okay. Oh my gosh, I almost got a knot. Down through this one. Back up through the second one. I kind of boogered that up. Okay. And then go clear across to here and then down. Let me think about this. Okay. Down through there, up, down, up, across here. Okay, you're on the back side. Go back in here. This is one of those things you gotta look at again, right, you guys? Go back down through this one. But the only reason you do this really is I didn't even have anything I needed to catch in there probably, but I wanted to show you how to do this because, you know, doing a wedding thing, there's no telling what little things you might want to include. Okay, and now back up through the center. Okay, and then you can just come on the other side of this, and I like to just be able to have it loose in my hands to tie it. So just kind of, you know, make sure it's taut. That one seems a little loose. Okay, and then just do a little square knot. So right over left, left over right, and there you go. And if you want to tie a little bow, you can do that. Maybe. Can she tie a bow? There we go. And then I would make it pretty and trim the ends off. And there you go. Now you've got a 5-stitch pamphlet. Or, yeah, 5-hole pamphlet stitch in case you needed to do some other things in there. And then just, you know, trim that off, make it look pretty. And there you go. And now for ours. Phew! Yeah, the needles, that worked pretty good. Hey, Christy. So now we can put this in here into one of our things, and I'll probably, you know, I'll make some more of these. Oh, and now if you're going to use this, shoot, I should have done this before I put all of them together. I meant to, and I forgot. Where's my corner chomper? Oh my gosh, I got it out, and I don't see it. Of course, there's so much out here, there's no telling where I laid it. Oh my goodness, I don't know. If you clip the ends, the corners here, it will fit much better in here. It kind of gives it a little place to live. So you just find your center, put that in here. I mean, it'll go in, but I just think it gives it a nice little spot to, you know, to do that. Now, here's our other little, here's our little envelope thing. There's our little envelope that we put here, and we've got our 2 little things. And now there's so many things that we could, you know, put on there. There's the doily. I see it now. Oh my goodness. Of course the doily would show up. You know, maybe you just put one of these on here, whatever you want to. I mean, there's a zillion things that you could decorate all the stuff with. And I had I don't see the strips. I thought I would at least put one of the strips on and tuck this in, but I don't see them. Oh my goodness, you guys. My time is almost up. I'll be working, needless to say, there will be more episodes of this, right? Probably several people feel like that. And then we can put like a belly band or something and tuck this in, you know, so that it could be, you know, kind of a floating pocket and put it in like that. So actually, that's kind of a pretty place for it to live right there in that spot. I kind of like it there. I think I will clip it there. Now,